nuclear weapons and enriching uranium. Why should we believe now that it is any nearer to being done than in those 30 odd years?
Well, first, you need to listen to the IAEA. If you don't want to believe us or our intelligence, they said themselves that they have enough enriched uranium, that it's enough for multiple bombs. And then you look at the intentions, and I tend to believe the Iranians. When they say they want to destroy Israel, I believe them. When they say that they will use those weapons, and they have a sign that actually with a clock in the square in the middle.
Purely from a strategic point of view, would the U.S. bombing Iran be worth it? I would say yes, but the problem is you would like this to be a part of a larger, more comprehensive vision for the Middle East. I think I'd prefer weapons be given to Israel, and then Israel goes and bombs them. Having the United States fly this mission with actual U.S. planes, it feels substantially different. I feel like we should just give the shit to Israel. They're bunker busters or whatever the fuck else. Just give it to them and let them fly the missions. I don't know why U.S. planes would be doing this. It seems kind of weird.
Middle of Tehran, I believe them. So we don't take any chances anymore. And after October 7th, we saw the evil of our enemies.
Verification monitoring of the Islamic Republic of Iran in light of United Nations Security Council Resolution 2231, dated May 31st, 2025. As previously reported on December 5th, 2024, 6 months ago, Iran started feeding the two IR-6 cascades, producing UF-6 enriched up to 60%, U-235 at FFEP with UF6 enriched up to 20%, U-235 rather than UF6 enriched up to 5%, U-235, without altering the enrichment level of the product. The effect of this change has been a significantly increased rate of production of UF6 enriched up to 60% at FFEP to over 34 kilograms of uranium in the form of UF6 per month. Iran's second pilot enrichment plant. Okay, so that's a nuclear plant. Uranium hexafluoride. This is the gas or whatever that they shoot through to centrifuge stuff out or whatever. It's a volatile white solid that can be converted into a gas when heated, making it suitable for gaseous diffusion and centrifuge enrichment processes. Okay. 60% of what? Or is it more than... when you have it just refers to if you have a block of uranium, you're asking what percentage of that uranium is a certain type of uranium that is good for sustaining highly volatile nuclear reaction, basically, that can explode. And to make a thing that blows up really well, you want a block of uranium, and you want that uranium to be 90 to 95% of a certain type of uranium of, is it 235? And then the other 40%, I'm guessing, is 238, right? So it's just a matter of getting it up higher and higher and higher. If you want to do power plant stuff, then you can have a block of uranium, and it only has to be 5%, I think at the most, needs to be uranium-235. Once you get past 5%, then people are like, well, what are you doing with that? But once you get it up to 90 to 95%, that's capable of being used to do a nuclear explosion. But they really were that close? Yes, this is a statement from the International Atomic Energy bullshit agency. This is showing that they were at... In December, they already had stuff enriched up to 60%, and they had over 34 kilograms of uranium they enriched up to 60% at this nuclear power plant centrifuge stuff, over 34 kilograms of uranium in the form of UF6 per month. Jesus. Installing a ton of these things. But, okay.
You've been very successful in taking out a lot of the senior military commanders in Iran and a number of nuclear scientists. This is according to obviously what you have put out. But the Ayatollah remains alive. It's been reported that President Trump has vetoed any attempt to assassinate the Ayatollah. But why, out of interest, if you're going to target all the top people of the regime, why would you not target the Ayatollah?
Piers, I will not go into details, but I will tell you that, we showed our capabilities. We showed the amount of intelligence we have about the whereabouts of the leadership of Iran and the IRGC. We showed our capability to fly everywhere, not only above Tehran, everywhere in Iran, which is a huge country. So we have those capabilities, and we will decide, what we will do next.
Well, let's go to the panel. Cenk, I could see you reacting pretty violently to what you were hearing there. So what is your response to what you heard from the ambassador?
It's a goddamn genocide.
Yeah, when Israeli officials speak, it's like they're in fantasy land.
Yes.
So those of us who were opposed to their war crimes and genocide said they were going to take Gaza, that it had nothing to do with self-defense, it had to do with land acquisition, as all the wars that Israel starts has to do with. They said, oh, that's anti-Semitic, how dare you? Now their cabinet has said, yeah, we're going to take Gaza, it's a conquest. So now they've started another offensive war in Iran. They'll pretend to be the victims, that's what they always do. Oh my God, so I had to start a war for self-defense. Nonsense, garbage. Just like you said, 33 years, they've been saying any day now Iran's going to have nukes. It was a lie. Netanyahu went on Fox News over the weekend, admitted they weren't even close to having it within a year. Then they said, oh, it's because of ballistic missiles. The ambassador there again referred to the ballistic missiles. An incredible number of countries have ballistic missiles. Is Israel going to attack all of them? Is Israel going to...
Are we going to bring up the recent statements that have been a historic departure, I think, because I don't think the IAEA has ever made statements about Iran being close to having weapons-grade uranium. Ever. I don't think in the history ever. Are we going to reference these at all, or are these guys all Jewish as well? I didn't check the names on the reports, so...
invade all of them and then pretend that it's self-defense? How many? And then they talk about, oh, we try so hard to not have civilian deaths, and then American media plays along. No, they killed hundreds of civilians in Tehran. So they always kill civilians. They always kill more civilians than their opponents while pretending that they care so much about civilians. They're the ones starting all the wars. We all have eyes and ears. We just saw them start this war. And every time American media plays along and pretends that there's a fantasy land where Israel's the victim, and they, oh my God, they just had to attack yet another Middle Eastern neighbor. They just had to take Gaza. So almost when you hear an Israeli official speaking, they're lying. They're lying almost 100% of the time.
I mean, I'm going to come to Ben Ferguson to respond. All I would say is, clearly, when you have the leader of Iran, the Ayatollah, who's gone on record as saying he wants to get rid of Israel, and when you have Hamas in Gaza, who are also wedded to getting rid of Israel, it's not completely irrational that they would feel that they are under threat. Now, you and I have debated a lot. The way they've gone about things in Gaza is markedly different how they've gone about things in Iran and with Hezbollah. But I don't think we can pretend that Israel is not under threat from either Iran or Hamas. Ben Ferguson.
Yeah, what he just said omitted one massive aspect of the conversation. There was an attack on Israel. There was the kidnapping and the torturing and the raping and the murdering of innocent people that were gathering to have a fun weekend.
What is October 7th? Oh my God. I've been on shows with this guy before. He's a conservative dipshit, or MAG, I think.
Idea that he is forgetting what happened on October 7th and acting like Israel just woke up on a random Tuesday and decided to start...
This has nothing to do with October 7th. Or like in a far away way it does, but that's not why Iran is being attacked right now. But
attacking Gaza is absolute anti-Semitic insanity. We know what started this. And the second part of this, he says, hey, are they going to attack everybody in the world that has ballistic missiles? I lock my doors at my house every night for the people that might be right outside of my house. And you have someone that is saying, we want to annihilate you from the river of the sea and chants death to Israel, and says they want to murder you because you are Jewish, and to act as if they don't have a right to defend themselves, and to attack Gaza after you have a massive terrorist network, an underground tunnel system that allows for them to go after you every single night, where you have to have an iron dome to protect and defend. So everything you just said, with all due respect, is absolute propaganda for the terrorists, because you admitted the fact that Israel was attacked first, that started the whole damn thing.
Okay,
no.
Matthew Said.
No, that's not
hang on, check.
What I heard was propaganda for terrorists just now from Ben. The terrorist state of Israel, who's been occupying the
planning the attack and who supported the attack on October 7th.
Why don't you let them go? Why don't you let foreign people go? How much do you want to oppress and humiliate and murder them? Now you're going to murder Iranians. And by the way, Ben, I think you forgot. You're an American, not an Israeli. Act like an American, not an Israeli. What are you, a foreign agent? Why are you working for a foreign government? Why do you care about American interests? We got no interest in this war.
All right.
True. The Jewish mind control. Call it out, Mr. Turkman. Yes, the Jew control is in our brains. Yes.
I have an interest in people being able to live a life without fear of bombs coming into their backyard, hitting their apartments, hitting their homes from a terrorist organization.
Iran, Gaza, and all of the Middle Eastern neighbors of Israel. They live in fear of Israel, the terrorist state attacking
Israel
them.
doesn't go on the
all
offensive.
Israel ever does is attack their neighbors and take their land.
All right. Time out.
Why did you admit?
There's absolutely no question about it.
I've known you for a long time. One question. Why did you admit in your opening statement that Israel was attacked on October the 7th? Why did you not mention it one time? Because that is the fact that you cannot bring up, because that is what started the catalyst of where we are today. You know it, so you didn't mention it because you want to indict Israel. Acting like
why not? We can be way more narrow. Israel is not attacking Iran because of October 7th. I don't know what the we're talking about. Israel is attacking Iran because they think that Iran is very close, either weeks or few months away from having like missiles that can deliver active and armed nuclear warheads to Israeli territory. That's what's going on right now. I don't know why we're talking about October 7th. Like, in a broader conversation, we can talk about October 7th, sure, but that's not what's happening right now.
Can I answer?
Attacking people. It's bullshit.
All right, listen, I do want to let the other two panelists come in. Check, you'll get a chance to come back.
58 years of brutal occupation. And you think it started on October 7th?
Let's not go back to the
2 years later, you're still murdering Palestinians? Still murdering Palestinian children?
There's a genocide going on.
Okay, you love genocide. I got it.
There are four panelists, guys. There are four panelists. You can come back on in a second and have further thoughts. Matthew Said, you had a great column at the weekend, and you were talking, and I thought it was very striking to me, about the difference between Vladimir Putin rattling his nuclear saber, because, as you pointed out, he's an extremely materialistic guy who's amassed hundreds of billions of illicit gains at the expense of his people, and he's the last person that would want to actually die for his country by pressing nuclear buttons, which would lead to his immediate vaporization. I've been saying that for ages. However, it is a different thing when it comes to Iran.
How is Israel attacking Iran loosely connected to October 7th, like you said? Because Iran is a supporter of Hamas. I don't remember what the direct involvement was. I'm pretty sure there were some planners that were involved in it, but Iran supports all of the proxies that attack Israel, Hezbollah, the Houthis. Hamas.
There will be people there with very fundamentalist ideals who might think, if they're cornered, who might think if there's nothing else they think can get them through, who might think nothing of using a nuclear weapon if it came to it. With the same kind of nihilistic attitude that we saw from Al-Qaeda, that we saw from ISIS and so on.
That's right. I mean, just a couple of quick points. Firstly, I like to think of myself as broadly pro-Israel, but I think, like you, feel that the destruction that has been visited upon Gaza